Hello, my YouTube family. It's Whitney again, back with another video. So, today I just wanted to do a little bit of a get ready with me, just kind of a drugstore style get ready with me. I'm going to be using all drugstore products. So, I'm thinking today I'm probably going to test out the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. I have never used this. They never had a shade for me, and they have recently released new shades in this, so I finally found one that I think will work for me. This is just porcelain, of course. My shade in all the drugstore foundations is porcelain, so I'm gonna try this one out. Oh, it's in a pump. I love it already. So we'll try this one out today. It says it's a 2-in-1 concealer and foundation, so we'll see how much coverage I get out of it. If I'm not liking the coverage, I'll go ahead and pop into my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I tried this out the other day and I absolutely loved it. I found nothing wrong with it. It was flawless. It didn't crease on me. It didn't clump. It didn't do anything. It was great. I'll probably go in with this if I need a little bit more coverage. So, and of course I have the Milani Make It Last setting spray to go with the foundation. I tried to find the concealer everywhere. I looked everywhere and could not find it. They just did not have the new concealer that is out right now. So I skipped on that. Hopefully this will be enough. If not, I had the NYX concealer, that should be okay. But then I do have the Make It Last setting spray, which is supposed to be a 16-hour wear. So we'll test that out. It is 11:30 in the morning as I'm putting this on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it, alright? So what I'm gonna start with is the Wet n Wild Matte Primer. I tried this yesterday and it was meh, it was okay. So I'm gonna give it another shot again today, just to give it its fair shot. If I don't like it again today, I'll probably trash it, or I mean not use it anymore, but I just have to give it its fair shot. I just really don't like the way that it's going on. It just feels so greasy. And it's supposed to be a matte primer, which is why I'm kind of like, why does it feel so greasy? Like if it was a radiance primer or a hydrating primer, I could understand that. I would be like, okay, I get where this comes from, but I don't understand where this comes from. Like, why does it feel so greasy on my face? I don't get it. So it's a nice, like, 64 degrees outside, and I have this fucking sweater on. Like, geez, Whitney. Like, it's nice in the sunshine. It's, like, nice and 64 degrees outside in the sunshine, but then if you stand in the shade and the wind blows, it, like, drops down to, like, 45, and you're freezing your nuts off. So it's, like, I thought this would be okay, because it's kind of, like, kind of see-through. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's really thin, so I thought it would be okay, but I'm like dying of a heat stroke in here already. I'm trying to drink my coffee and get ready. I'm just like, fuck it, I'll suffer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with the foundation in the shade Porcelain. So I'm actually going to use the NYX foundation brush that I forgot to use in my NYX video with the NYX foundation. So I'll just use this today and put it to the test and see how I like it. So here goes nothing. Since it says it's supposed to be a concealer and a foundation too, I'm just going to go ahead and put it under the eyes and just see how much coverage I actually get out of it. So far it's not bad. I feel like I wish it was more of a full coverage. I feel like I wish everything was more of a full coverage though, unless it's like super cakey and then I'm like, oh, it's too thick. So really, I just can't make up my mind on what the fuck I want, and this feels fine. I've only got it on one side of my face right now. It feels fine. I'm really liking it, but I just looked at myself in the camera and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do my brows. So I'm gonna just shape up my brows real quick. So I don't even know what these are called. I forget. It's like some kind of flawless something. It's like the thing that lights up and like shaves your brows off for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. So let's go ahead and do the other side of the face. Now, I don't have a drugstore eye primer, so I am just going to be using concealer as my primer, or eye primer, and since I'm trying this as a foundation and concealer in one, I'm just going to go ahead and sweep this over my eyelids too. I normally would never do that, just FYI, that is not my style. I do not put foundation or concealer on my eyelids. They're normally super greasy and it just does not hold. It just slides off or it builds up in that little crease right there. It does not look cute at all. but we're gonna try it just for the sake of the drugstore video, just to say that I used all drugstore stuff and just see how it holds up. I mean, maybe my body chemistry has changed over the past year or so. There's no telling. It changes all the time. Plus, I've had a baby in the past year, so there's really no telling. Like, it could be totally different by now. We'll see. So what do we think? What do we think, guys? Yeah, I actually kind of like this. I feel like it went on really smooth. It feels really light. I built it up to a full coverage. Like the first little swipe I did, I was like, this isn't a full coverage. But I added a little bit to it and it's definitely a full coverage now. So I really like that. It doesn't feel as light as the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I feel like that one was a little bit lighter. Like you didn't really feel that one on your face. This one you can kind of feel a little bit on your face, but it's not so bad. I'm liking the coverage. I'm really liking the coverage under the eyes, like as far as like for concealer and everything. I probably will do a concealer just to see if it's gonna add a little bit more coverage, just to see. I just want to see. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'll go ahead and go in with the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just going to try one eye at a time and just see like how much it's going to actually cover or brighten, or if it's actually going to give like any kind of effect whatsoever. We'll just see. So how do we feel about that? This one's got concealer, this one doesn't. There's a little bit of a difference, so I mean, especially like to cover up this little red spot, I'm definitely going to go in and do a little bit. But I mean, as you can see, it really did cover quite a bit. You don't necessarily need a concealer unless you just want that extra bit of coverage. I obviously do, so I'm going to go ahead in with the concealer. But that's just preference. You don't necessarily need one, like I said. So that's pretty good for a foundation, for a drugstore foundation, for sure. I'm just going to lighten everything up a bit too. There we go. So how are we feeling about that? I feel like that looks pretty good, actually. I am really, really loving this concealer. Like, just for a drugstore concealer, $8.99, like, this is the bomb diggity, y'all. I'm telling ya, I'm loving it. But anyways, we're testing out the foundation today, not the concealer. We've already tested out the concealer. So the foundation is doing pretty well so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. So I'm going to go ahead and set it. So today I'm going to set my foundation with the Coty Airspun powder. I've never actually used this before. And I have it in the shade Honey Beige. So hopefully that'll match me. I didn't realize there were shades until I'd already bought it. Okay. Coffee break, y'all. It warms my dark, dark heart. Jumping into the Coty's Airspun powder, I'm gonna try this out. It's got this little poof that comes with it. I'm not gonna use the poof. I'm gonna throw the poof away. I'm going to use my Morphe powder brush and just kind of set everything in place real quick. Yeah, this has a really strong scent to it. Really strong scent. Like, it literally smells like my grandma's, like, cold cream or something. Like, I don't know what is up with that, but yeah. So if you have an aversion to smells, maybe not the powder for you. It's not so bad to me. I'm just kind of like, why does it smell like that? That's weird. But anyways, I'm getting through it. But if you can suffer through it for the minute that it takes to put on your face, if that, you're good to go. Okay, so we've got everything set in place now. So let's go ahead and do brows so we don't look so naked. So we're just going to use what we used the other day, the Neutrogena brow pencil in the shade Brown. So this brow pencil, not my favorite. Just using it to be using drugstore products. I have a JOA pencil that I'm actually waiting to use because I want to do a JOA video. I've got so many JOA products that I was just going to do like a JOA video. I just haven't gotten around to filming it yet. So I'm still using the Neutrogena one, just kind of testing it out. But so far, it goes on super duper creamy. And then you just kind of have to brush it out. And that's pretty much what gives you your shape. So let's go ahead and do the other brow real quick. Okay, so brows are on. Yay! Now let's move into the face. So what I want to use on the face today, I think I'm just going to do my Neutrogena products, use my Neutrogena bronzer and blush and see how that goes. And then I'll probably just use my Physicians Formula highlight because I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. So let's just go ahead and get started with that. So this is the Neutrogena bronzer. It is in the shade Sunkissed. So I'm just going to jump in with this. So I'm just going to use my Morphe slanted brush for this and just dip into here. I have a feeling this is going to go on really, really light. Yeah, pretty light, which is good for me because like I've said before, I'm scared of contour, scared of bronzer. Like I love a good bronzer, but I'm just like terrified that I'm always gonna go too dark with it, too heavy-handed. So I always like a light bronzer. So that gives a nice sun-kissed kind of glow without being too over-dramatic, too contoury, too makeup-y. I mean, it is Neutrogena after all, so makes sense, right? Right. Okay. So I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to go ahead and contour. I feel like it's a little bit warm for it, but like I said, doing drugstore products, so just going to roll with it. So I'm just going to use this slanted brush right here just so I can get up around my nose area. And then just under the lip, just because I have really small lips, so this just helps to make them look a little bit more pouty. A little bit more pouty? Yeah, I don't have pouty lips. So we have our bronzer on. Now I'm going to jump into the blush. And this is in the shade Rosy. So this is just going to be pretty pink, I'm thinking. So I'm just going to grab my Smashbox blush brush. I'm going to dip some of this onto my cheeks real quick. Super duper light. This is like really similar to Benefit's Dandelion, if anyone's familiar with that. That's super duper pink, like just really light blush from Benefit. This is really similar to that. That's what it reminds me of anyways, just because it goes on so light and it's just so pink and light and just, it's like when I started using makeup when I was like 13 or 14, I started with like the Benefit products because they're pretty natural and they were like easygoing. It wasn't like harsh makeup for a 13-year-old. So my mom was like, okay, yeah, Benefit's a good brand for you. So we started with Benefit, and the Benefit Dandelion was like the first thing that I had, me and my sister. And this is really close to it. Like, this is pretty similar. And I know the Benefit Dandelion is like $30. I think the mini is like $16, but the full size is like $30. So this might be a pretty good dupe for it. I'm not sure how much it was originally. I got it on sale and I think it was like $5. So yeah, pretty good dupe if you need one. Not that everyone needs a super bright pinky blush. It was just something fun to start with when I was 13, obviously. And like a lot of people that like to go the more natural route, kind of like something just really subtle like that. Like I know people coming into Sephora, they're like, I just want something really subtle, just something that's going to give me color. And I show them that and they're like, perfect, right on the money. So some people like it. For other people, it's just not a win. Not a win for me anymore since I've gone more kind of full glam recently, especially. But I still love it. It's still a cult classic, and I would still own one today if I had one. Like, I wouldn't get rid of it. Okay, so now we want to highlight everything a bit. So I am going to use the Physicians Formula highlighter in the shade Pearl. Just using my Wet n Wild P77 brush. Gonna pick some of this up real quick. If anyone's familiar with the ColourPop Super Shock highlighters, this is really similar to that formula, like just really soft and gel-like. Like it'll probably dry out if you leave the cap off of it type shit. If you like the ColourPop Super Shock highlighters, you'll probably like this too. I know I absolutely love them both. they're major wins for me. And this just smells so fucking good, you guys. It smells so good. Like, I can't help it. Every time I open it, I'm just like, yes. And like, what's really sad is it took me this long to discover the Physicians Formula Butter Collection. Like, I could have been using it for years and been happy and just fine. And I literally just discovered it like a month ago. Like, are you kidding me? I missed so much. Highlight on. Now let's jump into our eyes. This is gonna be exciting. So I have not used any kind of drugstore eyeshadow in forever. So this is gonna be different. So I was thinking I would use the Maybelline Matte Bar. I thought this one would be fun to try just because I don't really use a whole lot of mattes to begin with. Like, I normally gravitate towards like shimmers, glitters, anything colorful, bright and vibrant like that. So this looks pretty bland to me. I'm just like, that looks boring. But I want to challenge myself to come up with something fun from this. So, looking at it now, I think I want to use obviously this shade right here, which is called 1915. Is that right? Yeah, so this one is called 1915. So I'm going to jump into 1915, obviously. I have a feeling my transition shade is probably going to be this one, which is called Groundbreaker. So I'll use this one as transition, and this one obviously. So we'll see what I come up with as I get going. I generally just kind of pick two colors, and then as I get going, I'm like, oh, I want to use this, and oh, I want to use this. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So this is not a Sephora brush, it's not a drugstore brush, this is a MAC brush. This is the 224 crease brush. So I'm just gonna pop that into the shade Groundbreaker. This one right here. So since I don't have a drugstore eyeshadow primer, I'm just using the concealer, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So I was sitting here thinking, like, are there any good drugstore eye primers out there? Like, I couldn't think of any brands that have any that are like, that I know of, like, specifically. And then I thought, oh, Morphe has one. Like, so maybe I'll pick that up. Like, do you guys know of any good drugstore eye primers? Like, is Morphe a good one? Are there any better ones out there that I should pick up? That I should be on the lookout for? Because I want to be able to do like a literal full face of drugstore makeup. And right now, I am struggling. I'm struggling really hard. Like, I've got some things here and there and some things I don't even like, so I'm gonna have to replace. So I'm getting there, but eventually I would like to be able to do a full face of drugstore makeup. So I will have to get an eyeshadow primer. So if you guys know of any good ones, please sound off below. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Flat Iron, and build that up in the outer V right here. And I'm just gonna use my Morphe stamper brush for that. Okay, so far so good. Now I think I want to try something different that I normally don't do. I think I want to try a cut crease. So I'm going to try and do a cut crease and then pop in this shade, the 1915 shade right there. So here goes nothing. Okay, so we've laid down our concealer. Now I'm just gonna jump into the shadow and lay down that shade 1915 right where that concealer is. So I'm gonna do that just using a small shadow brush. So now we have our eyes done. That is pretty much it for the Maybelline Matte Bar palette, which I was pretty impressed with. The shadows were really pigmented, everything blended out great, nothing looks chalky, nothing looks muddy. I think it looks really great. The one thing I will say is nothing against the palette. This is totally me. I did attempt a cut crease and you can't even tell that I tried to do a cut crease. It just looks like regular eyeshadow. So what the hell am I doing wrong? I don't understand. I've watched so many videos and tried to perfect this and I've practiced, and I just, maybe I'm just using the wrong shades together or maybe I'm just not defining it enough. I don't know. If there's any tips you guys can give me, please sound off below because you know your girl needs it. You can tell. You can look and tell. Yeah, you know your girl needs it. So anyways, I think that this eyeshadow palette performed great and it really made me kind of break out of my comfort zone. I didn't use any shimmers. I didn't use any glitters. I didn't even use an eyeliner. So this is a great little eyeshadow palette. I believe it was $14.99. So for the price, pretty good one. Moving on from that, I think we're just going to do regular mascara today and not any lashes. I already have a little bit on. I thought I was filming and I wasn't, so I had to go back and redo some of this. So I'm just going to use the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, which is really, really cute. It's even got a corset on the back. I think that's adorable. So I'm just going to use that and see how that works. And hopefully we won't even have to do fake lashes today. We can just roll with what we've got. Okay there guys, what do we think? Do our lashes look okay? Do we need fake ones? We probably do because I have like 0 lashes to begin with, but I feel like the more I wear fake lashes, the more I need to wear fake lashes, so taking a break every now and then is good for your eyes. Don't forget that, ladies. So now that we've got everything done, let's go ahead and set everything and then we'll do a lip. So this is the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray, actually infused with charcoal. So it's supposed to control your oil throughout the day. Anything with charcoal in it like that is supposed to help mattify and oil control so that as you get oily throughout the day, it doesn't set on top of your makeup. It just kind of sets underneath it and you don't get super duper shiny. So hopefully this will save my life today because you know your girl's oily. So it says to shake it. Let's just give it a shake and then hold 8 to 10 inches from face and give it a spritz. So it smells a little funny, which is weird. Like you would assume that that would be the white charcoal in it, but I have other products with charcoal in it and they don't smell like that. So I don't know what that smell is. It's funky, but if it works, it works, so I don't care. So that is pretty much it, you guys. So now that we've got everything set, let's go ahead and do a lip color. So I have the Katy Perry Katy Cat Matte Lipstick from CoverGirl, and this is in the shade Maroon Meow. I thought this might be pretty interesting with the eye color I have going on today, so let's just see. Let's see. It might be too bold and we'll switch to something else, but let's just try it on. I am actually liking it a lot with this eye color. What do you guys think? Like, I think it looks pretty good. Is it too dark? Is it too mauvey, too purpley? I kind of dig it. Like I'm into the whole dark lipstick look right now and I feel like it really kind of matches the eyes, so I'm with it. You guys let me know what you think. Alright, so that is it for our little get ready with me drugstore style video today. Mostly just focusing on the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer and then the mattifying 16-hour setting spray. So we're going to test those out today and see how they actually wear throughout the day. So I'll check back in with you guys in a few hours, just see how everything's looking, and I'll check back in at the end of the day again too and just show you guys like a finished look after I'm gonna try and do at least a 10-hour wear. I put this on around 12. It is 12:30 now, so we'll see. All right, and I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. All right, see you then. All right, hey guys, so we are at the mall right now about to go into Ulta, pick up a few things. I know I need to get a drugstore primer. I need to get some kind of eyelid primer too, so I'm gonna try and pick up a few things. So this is how the foundation is holding up so far. What do we think? It feels fine. I haven't looked at it in a mirror lately, so I don't really know what it looks like. No, I'm like trying to see it in the car window. don't really know what it looks like, but it feels great. So far so good. So hopefully it'll just stay like this, and I'll do another check-in like at the end of the night and we'll still be perfect. All right, so I'll see you guys then. All right guys, so I'm wrapping it up for this video. I'm calling it a night. It is now 8 o'clock. So I've had this foundation on for about 9 hours almost. So, so far, not liking it the best. It could be the primer. I went ahead and picked up another primer today just because I felt like the one that I had, it was absolute garbage. I cannot stand it. So I went ahead and picked up another primer, and I'm going to test it out again with another primer. But let me just show you guys, like, if you're someone who doesn't really rely on a primer, then this is probably what's going to happen to you. This is what happened to me. So let me just show you like a close-up. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like really wore off on my chin and on my nose area. Like there's like almost none left, and it's really just kind of pulled in my pores really badly. Just really worn off around the mouth area. Just not looking the greatest around the eyebrows. Just not looking the greatest in general. I'm not loving it. I thought that the matte setting spray would really like save the day. Like even if the primer sucked, at least I would have this, and this would lock everything in place and keep it matte and keep it on there. And it really just didn't do that. It didn't, I feel like it didn't control my oil too much either, because I feel really shiny right now. Like if you guys can see this, like I feel super duper shiny. Like not highlighter shiny, just oily shiny. And I'm not digging it. It's not cute. So the Milani foundation, do we like it? No. No, I don't think we do. I think I'm gonna pass on that one. So that one does not get a passing grade from Whitney Poo. No. So that is gonna be it for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I really like doing wear tests and just reviews and things like that. So I really had fun with this one. So I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, then go ahead and hit the like button. I really appreciate that. If you really enjoyed my vibe and you want to see more of me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that even more. So hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of me, and I'll be seeing a lot more of you. All right? I love you guys. Peace out.